Okay, so I'm measuring things out for my daybed project here. One of the things we want is to keep that table and also this kennel. This is Angie's kennel, and it fits nicely in there. So for that kennel to work properly, there's a lid that comes down, so it has to clear the table each time. So that's sort of the spot I'm going to need the kennel. So I'd like to make the rest of the space for the daybed. So I've measured it out, and I got about 68 inches there, which is nice. It's good enough so I can lay on the bed and kind of watch TV, stretch my legs out. The other thing that needs to be measured is how deep it is. Let me just see here. So on our slide, we have about a 3-foot slide. So if I come in on the slide here, see how much I can stick out. I don't, well, it looks like about 39 inches. So I don't want it to go further. I want it to stay in the slide. I don't want it overlapping at all down here. So probably somewhere about there. So yeah, it looks like about 36 to 38 inches wide will do the job. And the next measurement is how tall I want it to be, because I want it to be a couch where people can sit on. I don't want it to be too tall. So I'm looking at these chairs. They're sitting about 16 inches, so somewhere between 16 18 inches. Might go around 18 because I'm going to need to put my drawer in there as well, so I'm going to need some extra space. So yeah, I'm going to create a plywood box to start off, and then I can always, once I get everything roughed in and working, then I can look at making it all look pretty with paneling or covering, some type of covering. So next trick is to saw up my plywood panels. Okay, so I've started the sofa bed project, and what I've done is I've taken a couple sheets of 1/2-inch plywood and I've cut out my box shape. So I have, here's a top, the front, back, and the two sides, and I'm going to take these 2x2s, and with some screws I'm going to make myself a box, rough a box in, so I can continue on from there. Got a couple handy little cordless tools. A little cordless saw is awesome, and the drill will help me get the screws in. Okay, I seem to have myself a box. Woohoo! That's the basic building block of it. So I just put in 2x2s in each corner there and screwed the plywood together. And now I'm going to put some 2x2s along the top rails there. Okay, I'm really starting to kick butt here, making all sorts of saw noises out here in the suburbs. Anyway, the next step I've done is I've added these two plywood inserts there, and they're going to be the guides for my drawer that goes in and out. And also they're going to help with the lid, support the weight when we're lying on there. So my next step is to figure out my exact drawer dimensions, and I'm going to put in a couple wood rails to put the drawer hardware on, and also keep it kind of sturdy. The plywood's a little, you know, flexy. So, but it's lunchtime, so we'll do that this afternoon. Stay tuned. For the bottom, I'm just taking some this 1/8 kind of it's really cheap board, only a couple bucks a sheet, and then I'll just staple it all around the edges there, and I'm going to run a few boards on the other side behind, and that'll help stiffen up the box even more and give it a nice surface on the underneath and on for my storage areas. And then I'm thinking of maybe putting some feet under there, just really low profile, just so that it doesn't drag or anything like that. Okay, things are really progressing with the daybed now. I pretty well got everything fully functional mechanical. So at this point everything is going to be all about making it pretty, and then putting the mattress and the pillows and stuff on top. But I wanted to get this done while I was visiting my sister here, and I had access to skill saws and stuff like that. So I'll give you a little tour of what I've done. This is with the lid flipped up right now, and inside we've got our main drawer. What I've done is I've added some hardware to it on the sides there, a couple rails, and basically I just copied what was in the sofa bed. The sofa bed had the same drawer underneath, but the rails were pretty well hooped on those, damaged in during our travels, and actually lost some of the ball bearings out of them. So I got brand new ones. I just measured the same size and replaced them because I'm using the same drawer. That's nice. Thing I did different this time is on the sofa bed there was nowhere for a catch, so what would happen is as we were traveling this would actually come out, and then, you know, if you're bouncing down a road, it would bounce, 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 and that's what wrecked the tracks back there. So I decided to add a couple catches here, so that when I close the door, it clicks in nice. That'll keep it from hopefully running out. We'll see how it goes. If it still slides out, I'll add something even sturdier to it, maybe a lock on it or something, but that's pretty cool actually. Really like that. And I also did some beefing up of things. I put this cross member here, try to keep things square, and also when the lid comes down and we're going to lie and sit on it, it'll give a little more support for the plywood lid there. I also added a piece across the plywood here, basically just to, because the plywood was kind of, you know, gets kind of warped, and that'll straighten it out. And I attached the plywood with a big long, I think they call it a piano hinge. So it's got tons of little screws there, but it folds neatly down. And then in the bottom what I've done is I bought some thin 1/8 board, and I stapled it all to the bottom rims there, and that makes it nice inside, but it also helps stiffen up the box as far as being square. Where these seams are, I'm going to get another flat piece of board and add 2 flat pieces down there. I just ran out of lumber at this point. I'll close that up. Oh, first I'll show you. So we're going to have a lot of storage actually underneath the drawer, which is kind of nice. Got storage at the back and underneath. There we go. I raised the door up a bit. In the old one, because it was a sofa bed, the drawer was actually really low. So we've actually increased our storage by quite a bit. And there's a nice section over here for storing things, and then a thinner one over here. As far as the drawer goes, I didn't center the drawer. I actually, you can see it's skewed to one side. And that's mostly because there's going to be a recliner rocker here, so I wanted to get as much space for that, so that even if someone's maybe sitting in there, it's easy to get the drawer out. And I'd also like, I'm still figuring out something for the lid. I'm probably going to put some gas shocks in it that are a lot like our bed, so that when you lift it up there's a set of shocks on each side and it'll stay up, kind of like a hatchback in a car, same idea. So in the meantime, all I've got right now is just this strap. There we go. That worked out awesome. One little hiccup that I had to mend is when the lid came up, I noticed it hit the bottom of the valance for the window, so I actually had to raise that side just slightly compared to the other side, so that when we raised this, it would clear the valance. But I think what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to maybe mount some type of little cup holder so that you can sit and watch TV and have maybe a drink up here. So that'll kind of make that look right again. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. You throw a temporary cushions and a little bit of a foam bed to get you an idea what it's going to be like. There, I think it sort of gives you an idea what I'm looking at. That's just our old dog bed. It's like a mattress we used in the back of the truck, and the old pillows from the old couch. But basically, we're gonna take and get a really nice foam mattress made, really high quality foam, and then we're gonna try to get it covered in like a leather material, hopefully real leather. Just kind of zipped up like that one, and it'll cover the whole top there. And then we'll get some nice cushions and things to go around it, and that way we can modify it to whatever our tastes are of that day. And then as far as the plywood box here, I'm deciding what I'm going to do. I might panel it with really nice paneling, or I might try this new woven vinyl floor covering and just use that. I think it'd look really sweet with that, especially if I do the floor as well with it. Can kind of have some contrasting colors, and then maybe do some trims. So, but basically it's got it all roughed in. It's kind of functional at this point, and from now on it's just mostly decorating it, which is kind of my wife's area. I'll let her decide what kind of colors and stuff, since she's the artiste in the family. Anyway, stay tuned, and I'll keep going on these summer renos for you. Cheers!